Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lockbeard Random Live number 57 Crackdown on Liberty. It is February 17th, 2022. This freedom convoy has been going on for a little while now. and, people hoped that the government would back down, but they're not. Um, there was the declaration of emergency, and then they started freezing people's bank accounts. Um, they have now started rolling in a massive number of cops. Um, one person was reporting at least 150 cars, a bunch of buses, prisoner transport vehicles. They are putting up barricades and fences all around the area. They're not going to back down. And this is going to be the U.S. insurrection situation all over again, right? You're going to have all these people there. They're going to be staying behind the barricades, but then there will be a point where they're ready to turn it into something that it really wasn't. And there will be people in the crowd who isn't really part of that group. They don't really give a shit about people's liberty. They they will be there to try and instigate the people of the crowd to do something they should not do. And in the U.S., the people should, even though the Capitol Police opened the barricades, even though they did that, the crowd should not have passed that line. But there were some infiltrators there, provocateurs there on purpose to help lead the people in and get them to rush across where the barricade was. So everyone up there at the Freedom Convoy, you need to listen to this. That moment will come up there. It may not take the same form, but that moment will come, and you need to stay back. Stay back. Do not listen to the provocateurs. They will be among you. They will look like you, or at least, well, not all of them look that much like you, but do not follow them. Remain peaceful. Just don't follow them, because what will happen is the same thing that happened here. Then the media will just run with it. Say, look, those people are horrible. They had an insurrection. For one, it was, if that was an insurrection, boy, that was pathetic for starters. But two, they were set up. So let's hope that the Canadian protesters were paying attention to what happened there. The media will be just waiting to say, see, these people are violent, even though every single live stream coming out of there, you see everyone's peaceful, everyone's friendly. There are kids playing. They have the freaking bouncy house castle thing going. There's people having barbecues. It's like a festival up there. It's no different than if your city, blocks off a few blocks in downtown for a festival each year or a carnival. It pretty much, it might as well be the same thing. Only there's protesting going on. There's people got signs and all that stuff. There's a bunch of trucks down there, and they're honking their horns. So, I know a lot of people are talking about this and saying, look, you need to just be aware there are going to be provocateurs among you. And now, so they got all these cops down there, tons of them. They brought in a ton of reinforcements. They've barricaded a bunch of crap. They've fenced off the government building. That it's just, they're acting like these people are down there like losing their shit and unruly as hell. And they're not. They're not. There are people walking around picking up trash, for fuck's sake. They're keeping it really clean and it's peaceful. There's no live stream shows any of the bullshit that the mainstream media is telling you, or any of the bullshit coming out of Justin Trudeau's lying domestic terrorist mouth. He's up there trying to say these people they're doing this illegal stuff and they got a bunch of trucks parked down there, but you can see in the video like cars are still able to get through. You know, they haven't completely locked down the area. It's not. They keep calling it an occupation. Like they just keep trying to make it out to be something it's not. It's just a bunch of people gathered there to protest. And now there's talk of this, we're going to do this here, right? And the date's been moved up. It was talked about for March, and now it's probably days away. And I have a feeling Americans will not show as much restraint as Canadians have. They just won't. If shit's gonna go sour, it'll go sour a lot quicker here than it would in Canada, and it hasn't in Canada. So let's see who's in chat. Sandra Piper's here. Welcome. Rob Mule, new subscriber today. Thank you for coming, man. Exactly. And they put that guy with the freaking horns on his head and wearing fur or whatnot. He's front and center on. Like he is the an example of what the average person there looked like. He was not by far. He was there to make everybody look ridiculous. If anyone thinks that guy was part of that, man, holy shit, dude. So, yeah, Rob, are you in Ottawa, by the way? Are you up there? We'll go through this RT article about the situation. It gives a little rundown of stuff. Ottawa cops crack down on protesters. Police put up fencing and bring reinforcements in bid to break anti-mandate freedom convoy protest. It's kind of weird. You have to go to Russian media for halfway accurate news, right? Because you're not going to get there. You're not going to get it this accurate from American mainstream media or Canadian or Australian, or British. You're just not. They say here police have started to erect fencing around the Freedom Convoy protests in downtown Ottawa, Canada, and have brought in extra officers in a push to clear the demonstration. The move comes after the truckers were threatened with arrest under emergency powers enacted by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Video footage captured on Thursday, that would be today, showed busloads of police arriving in downtown Ottawa. The officers purportedly holding crowd control drills. Meanwhile, workers were seen putting up metal fencing near the demonstration, which has brought traffic in the center of the Canadian capital to a standstill for nearly 3 weeks now. From what I've seen in the video, it is not to a standstill. It may be slowed down, but it's not to a standstill. There may be a few blocks that are completely blocked off, but people can easily go around that. It's not like they got a what was that? I can't remember what they called that autonomous zone, Chaz over here. Where it's just like decided to be, lock itself down and be its own little totalitarian regime in there. The cops are able to walk around freely. No one's under any threat. So, police convoys. A police convoy spotted moving in on Ottawa Freedom Convoy as Trudeau labels truckers economic threat. They're an economic threat. I wonder if the Emergency Powers Act was meant to deal with a bunch of truckers just refusing to haul your goods. Oh, how fucking inconvenient. No. Justin Trudeau thinks that he can order these truckers to go to work as if they are slaves. You have no choice. Work, you freaking slave. Video captured by the CBC News shows two. I'm not going to play those videos, but shows two buses filled with police arriving in the center of Ottawa. Yeah. Like why do they think they need this fencing? And look at how crappy that is anyway. How much good is it going to do beyond what's already there? Look what's already there. I mean, what they're putting up there is not going to do anything more, really. Shortly after these videos surfaced, Ottawa police announced that residents are seeing a major increase in the number of police officers on our streets. The force also stated that barriers and fencing are going up around the core of downtown Ottawa, cutting the protest off from the rest of the city. Only those who live and work within this area are allowed to pass the barriers. And Ottawa police, it says Ottawa police stated on Twitter, the unlawful protesters must leave the area and will not be provided access. What exactly is unlawful here? You're just mad they're not hauling your goods. You're mad that they're criticizing what the freaking Trudeau says. The cops on Wednesday began handing out flyers. We saw that in pretty much all the live streams as well out of there. Flyers to the protesters, warning them that they could face arrest if they refused to leave. The notices also said that thanks to emergency powers enacted by Trudeau on Monday, those traveling to Ottawa to join the protests are now also breaking the law and face the risk of having their vehicles seized. So now they're going to steal their vehicles. They're freezing their bank accounts. They're threatening to take their license away. We're going to take, here's a more quote from the interim police chief, Steve Bell. He says, we're going to take back the entirety of the downtown core and every occupied space. That's what he told to the city councilors on Wednesday evening, adding that his officers would remove this unlawful protest and return our city to a state of normalcy in a couple of days. Normalcy is what we want, you ass munch. You despicable domestic terrorist piece of shit. Normalcy. See how they throw these words back at us? Normalcy. They think the truckers are locking down the city. They're like, oh, we need to get our businesses back. We need to let it get back to normal. All this stuff is the same shit we've been asking for all along. You are the assholes that destroyed normalcy. You are the assholes that enacted lockdowns. Jesus Christ, these assholes are just maddening, absolutely maddening. Emergency powers invoked by Trudeau also allow the government to order bank accounts linked with the protest frozen, which they have already done to some of the truckers, and to suspend the trucking licenses of participants. Man, it's insane. You're in the UK? Are there going to be protests over there? And Papa Craig's here. Welcome. Pat is here. Welcome. Squatch Talk. He says emergency powers quoted from Palpatine. Yes, that crossed my mind as well. Exactly. It's like they even try to show us this shit beforehand in the movies sometimes. I mean, we know where this is going to go. We know exactly where this is going to go because Trudeau stood up there and said, "Oh, we're not using the military, not yet, but now that you've enacted emergency powers, all you need to do is instigate the people to become violent, and then you can justify, oh well, we weren't going to do it, but we had to because those people turned violent." Son of a bitch. Papa says, "Hey Sandra, you little flower child, you." Rob says the media was supportive of the Chaz Chop Shit show. Yep. Isn't it funny? They support that shit. They supported BLM riots, cities on fire. They're looting shit and they're killing people, and they're all about that. They're like, oh, this is great. I mean, they didn't say it like that, but they might as well have. What kind of this freaking bizarro world up in this bitch? Donald Fuller's here. He says, "Hey, Lockbeard. Hey, chat." Papa Craig says, "Yes, it is meant to harass those truckers, Lockbeard. The rowdy kindergarten children, too, I guess." Yeah. Son of a bitch. And they're trying to say that they forced businesses to shut down, but people talking about this, of course, can't confirm this. They're saying that the businesses that have shut down were not forced to shut down. They didn't have to, but a lot of them chose to because they don't agree with the Freedom Convoy. But other businesses are open and they're doing great and they're functioning just fine and probably better. They're probably making all kinds of money. Sandra says, "Hey there, Donald." Rob says they probably want an image of people destroying the fence for the media. Yeah, because beforehand they could just kind of walk onto the grounds. So they need something. They need a barrier for them to look. They breached the barrier. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Pyro is here. He says, "Meanwhile, the bug numbers are in rapid decline." Yeah, but what I did see is that I guess the insurance companies are seeing an increase in death rates. Those death rates, well, that's a whole nother issue. You probably know what I'm thinking is the actual cause of those increase in death rates, and it's not from any kind of germ. It's from something that they're doing to people. Part of the reason why this protest is going on. They're protesting mandates. But there's way bigger problem here. They are killing people with this with the jab. That's just a goddamn fact. If people can't see that, I don't know what to tell them. Papa says, "And I'm sure you needed one, Sandra." A laugh. Papa says, "Hey, hi, Pyro. You mean those little things that like to crawl on me?" Batmom's here. She says, "Hi, chat and Lockbeard. I'm listening." Hey, welcome, Batmom. Rob says, "Yes, we've had some massive protests in the UK, but we don't have many privately owned trucks, so no convoy." So they can't. If the company says you can't take our truck to protest, they're screwed, huh? Man, it takes the power away from the driver. Is he captain of his rig or not? Ernie says, "Good evening, chat friends. Sad times to live in. Biden put pressure on Fick Turd to, you mean fucktard, to end this soon because he doesn't want it in DC." Well, it needs to happen. It really does. And not just DC, probably at least every capital city of every state as well. Of course, I'm not sure Biden, what Biden wants was the issue. It's whoever is pulling his strings. I'm not sure he's entirely aware of what's going on at all. Sender says, Lockbeard, oh my gosh, you go, dude. Oh, thank you. Papa says they were hoping for Chaz Chop to still be there. Oops. Tyrannical government at its best, says Donald. Yep. Pyro says, Papa, yes, the same ones that live in Michael's beard. I thought he had fairies living in his beard or something like that. Elves or something. Rob says, Chaz Farms didn't go too well. Laughing my ass off. Yeah. Yep. Pyro, but we need him. Good to see you, Papa. Rob says, yes, indeed. Jab is poison. Yeah, absolutely. Now watch this string get banned too. I've had a couple of them get banned because of talking about stuff like this, and YouTube did not. But I, tried to appeal, and YouTube wouldn't budge, and so. But those two are over on Rumble, and if they're not on BitChute and Odyssey yet, they will be eventually. But I knew for a fact to go on Rumble, and links to them are in the descriptions of my most recent live streams. Everything I do is live streams, pretty much. I mean, that might change in the future, but so far everything's been live streams. But yeah, YouTube does not like you talking about that. Holy shit, dude. It's medical misinformation, according to them. Papa says, much to Oregon libs chagrin, our bug count is in the basement now. Pat says, I'd love to see Atlanta blockaded. I've been telling them for years, I got the hell out. Yep. Pyro says, what are they going to say if it is all but gone in a few months and the numbers show the vaccine didn't work? Oh, they'll explain everything away. They will. I mean, everything got an explanation for everything, but I still think everyone is not seeing. They're just not looking close enough to see that there's really zero evidence that there was a bug at all. That everyone's been manipulated to believe that there was something, but for the reality is most of the people they were claiming had this thing just had the flu. Might have been a bad flu, but they just had the flu. They declared it. They declared it a pandemic before they had isolated the virus. The CDC said so. Well, how do you know there's one then? If you can't isolate the thing, how do you know it's even there? You don't. You just don't. And then there's all those other things I've talked about that indicate fraud. Everything indicates fraud. But they say, well, this person tested positive. Yeah, but we know the tests don't tell you shit. We know it's bullshit. So you don't have that as evidence either. That data is completely unacceptable because it just the tests don't tell you anything. They'll show positive or negative to everybody, and the amplification thing, like if they don't get a positive, all they got to do is keep amplifying, and it will turn up positive if you amplify it enough. And they were over amplifying it, and they were doing it on purpose, because they needed some people to pop up a positive on those tests. So they had, numbers to report. Oh, look at all these people tested positive. Except the test doesn't mean anything. You don't have anything to prove this thing even exists. Papa says, uh-oh, I must retrieve the voice from preschool later. Rob says they just need to record deaths correctly and it'll be gone. Yeah, exactly. On one of my recent lives, I showed a video. I think it was, where was that at? In California, where a guy was being interviewed on the news, and they were talking about how the flu was not being, the numbers were gone. They're like, where's all the flu cases at? and he pretty much suggested that's what they were doing. They were calling it this other thing that I got to be careful about saying. So they could say, look, this thing's out there. People are getting it and they're dying. Completely leaving out the part where they weren't reporting flu cases, and completely leaving out the fact that hundreds of thousands of people die with complications from the flu every year. No one ever thought about that before. I bet most people aren't even aware that hundreds of thousands of people die every year when they get the flu, because their systems, there's the weaker people, right? They didn't know that. And now they're being told all these people are dying from this other thing, and they're believing that it's a freaking, the government lies about everything. Lies, lies, lies. They will still take full credit for it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Rob says anyone that dies for any reason whatsoever within 28 days of receiving a positive test is counted as a COVID death, even if they never had any symptoms whatsoever. Yep. Well, and not even that. Like I've told people here on this on my live streams a number of times. CDC website. I read it myself several times because I couldn't believe this shit that I was reading. But it was there. It may not be there anymore, but it was there, and I read it. I should have screenshotted it, but I didn't. They were telling the hospitals that if someone dies with symptoms that they claim are COVID, symptoms that are the same as 100 other ailments that we've always had, right? But these sets of symptoms they say would be COVID. I've done dropped the word, so here we are. CDC said that if someone dies with those symptoms or any of those symptoms, that you don't have to test them to confirm that's what it is, which, again, the tests don't mean anything. You don't have to test them. Just write COVID on the death certificate. Just assume they have COVID. So, you better believe they were using those for their numbers. A whole bunch of these statistics came out of dead people who were never tested. They just assumed they had it because the CDC told them to do it. Now, if they don't look, if the CDC had that on their website, if they did that, that is the most unscientific bullshit. That tells you right there, the CDC knew damn good and well this whole damn thing was fake, and they were helping to fake it. Because if they would never put that on there for anything. You must confirm the diagnosis. You can't be reporting statistics on disease if you haven't confirmed the person had the disease. That's ridiculous. But that's exactly what they told the hospitals to do. Timmy Boy says, bro, this has been an absolute joke from day one. Look around when are we going to get tired of being lied to over and over again? Sad days, brother. Yeah, absolutely, Timmy. Thanks for coming. Mid-South Series says, what are we talking about? Hey, Lockbeard. I every day I need to stop watching the live streams out of Ottawa because it's pissing me the fuck off. It's ridiculous. The mainstream media is lying out their ass. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau lying. It's fucking shit, man. Rob Neal says, I remember that for sure. Mid-South says, it's just numbers that don't exist, much like the population for Bigfoot, but hey, who's counting? Oh, yeah. Except when we predict numbers of Bigfoot, it doesn't hurt anybody. There's a little difference, I think. Ernie says, counted as unjabbed death up to 28 days after jab. Are they really? So you're saying if they had the jab, but they die 28 days later, they counted as unjabbed? Is that what you're saying? Dude, that just adds to the bullshit, don't it? if that's what's going on. Rex Hands here. Hey, welcome. 14 days, you thought? This here is just even more angering if that's what's going on. 14 or 28 days, it don't matter. If you had it, you had it, right? If you've been jabbed. I mean, unless it's been a couple of years, maybe, or maybe even a year, maybe 6 months. I'll give you 6 months, but just a month. Oh, look, we got our first one of the night. Hide that. Block user. What do these things here come for? I can't bring myself to try and look at the link to see what the hell it is. From what I've heard, it's something really bad I do not want popping on my screen. Period. But I don't know. Mr. Hugh, welcome. Rex says hospitals get 50,000 per death. Yeah, they were getting paid massive amounts of money. So people are like, well, the doctor said, well, yeah, but the doctors work for administrators. So even if your doctor is an honest doctor, he's got to think about his medical license. He's got to think about keeping his job. You know, he's under orders from the administration. Shut up and just play ball. You know, those doctors put 8 years and an ass load of money into getting to where they are. Losing their medical license is a real bad thing. So that may be enough to scare an otherwise ethical person into making a very bad decision. So Rob says, so if you die after a jab, you are counted as unjabbed, even if it's your booster. Is that what's, I'm not sure. Uncle Bone says, hello to Sandra. Hello. Am I late? Well, there was no notice. Random lives, there are no notice. So I don't know if you can technically be late if you didn't know it was going to happen. But welcome, Uncle Bones. Mid-South says, man, I should have been one of the first people who should have contracted the disease. I have little to none of an immune system, have been around beer bug cases, never wore a mask, and haven't had a cold. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? It's because, of course, I don't want to go into. I think I've talked about a little bit, kind of what I think's up. Like they're trying to. It's part of what they're trying to do is cover up something that is making some people sick, and will begin to be making more and more people sick as time goes on. But it's not a germ. It's not a germ. But they need to find an excuse why people are starting to get sick. So they need to create this. Oh, there's this new germ out there, and it keeps mutating, and we got these different strains coming, and we never know when a really bad one's going to come along and start just taking people out. And they need it to be something that'll pop this test they got, because guess what? The thing I'm thinking of can pop that test. But I've said it before, and they get to scrutinizing my live streams too much. They'll say, well, let's see which other episodes he mentioned this in. We'll just delete everything or take down the channel if they don't. You never know when they're going to screw down the rules a little tighter, so you can't, say anything and then retroactively take down some videos. Or Rob Mule says, and there was a ventilator bonus, like WTF. Yeah, that was a fiasco, wasn't it? They were killing people with those things. Chessboard says, hello, Lockbeard and Sandra Piper and everybody else, it looks like. Lots of hellos going. Chessboard, hello, man. He says, good day to Uncle Bones. So, see if there's a pop up. Might as well pop up some a live stream up while we're on here. Let me bring this up. Did it come up? There it is. Yeah, I don't know how well this. Yeah, I guess it's gonna work all right. We'll shrink it down though. It looks like, has it started snowing? They said it was gonna start snowing. Looks like it may have started. It was kind of rainy up there, but I guess it's cooled down and now it's snowing up there. Mid-South says, I've had the first Pfizer shot 6 months ago. Haven't had the urge to get to the second. No nano bites for me. Thank you. Yeah. I haven't had time to really dive into, because, one, how do I know for certain myself, because I have to trust the source as to what's in them, I don't, it ain't like, if I had a bunch of money to, build the lab I want, I might be able to determine something, but, that's not going to be a reality anytime soon. So I don't know. So this comes here, right? I just wonder how it's going to unfold here. Should I go? Should I go? I have to go into debt to do it, but I certainly have the urge to. Man, I can't go to freaking Canada. That's for damn sure. Border restrictions and everything else. I'm pretty sure they will not let me into Canada if I try to get it in there. Mid-South says, LOL, no, I can't have labs near me anymore. Now, what kind of labs you talking about? There's no reason to be afraid of Labrador retrievers. What kind of labs you talking about? Well, yeah, I wouldn't have anything too horribly illegal, and my lab would be about scientific investigation, not producing a product. If I'm reading that right. Rex says this is prep for a bad bioweapon. Maybe, but if they were trying to prepare us, this was the wrong way to do it. They violated our rights in so many ways. Because I would have been I was for many years. Every so often if something come up, if shit goes sour, if something bad happens, you see movies come out and there's an outbreak, and the discussion comes up, and I've always been of the position that we are drastically underprepared for a natural or a man-made epidemic, and that we should be better prepared. It would be extremely costly to be prepared as well as I think we should be. But when that day comes, everyone will not think that cost is too high anymore. Everybody thinks the cost is too high to be prepared for anything until it happens, and they almost die, or they do die, or their loved ones die. Oh, I don't need a tornado shelter. You kind of do if you live at least in Some areas. You kind of do. And ideally, build the underground house, right? The underground house, you're good. It's better for other reasons too. Build your house underground. And everyone's like, oh, that don't sound. No, I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want to do that. They have these ridiculous, reasons for not wanting to do it. Just, piddly shit reasons. Even though you're telling them, say, look, a tornado comes through. You see what happens to some of these towns? Every so often, a town gets its ass handed to it by a tornado. A bunch of people die, millions of dollars in damage. Yeah, your insurance might pay for the house if you dived into the tornado shelter, but priceless family heirlooms were lost. For people that matters to. But most importantly, human lives are lost. But everybody thinks, oh, it's never going to happen to me. It's never going to happen to me. And for a lot of people, it may never happen to you, but you don't know. You don't know. So it's just better that everyone be over prepared and just be protected. But underground house, you don't have to worry about it. You just sit in your living room and no big deal. And enjoy very low energy costs year round on top of that. Mid-South says, I lost a house, 5 acres of property in my late 20s for having a working lab on my property. My roommate was a scientific genius, made his own style of blotter acid. Awesome. You still got any? Did you see what we were talking about last night? Michael says, hey, Lockbeard. Welcome, Michael. What's up? Rob says, Mid-South, now that's a story. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, there's some stories around here. Yeah, Michael, you have my email, says chessboard. Yep. Man, that snow cover came quick. They had clear sidewalks just shoot like an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours ago, clear sidewalks. Mid-South says, yeah, I was here shortly last night, had me wanting to go shrooming. Yeah, sorry to raise up that demon within you. So over on this RT article, I was going to look at the comments here. There was one that kind of stuck out. Pretty good synopsis of things. This person who calls himself ATR said, but Canada supported the Hong Kong riots and condemned the government's intervention. And Canada supported the Belarus riots and condemned the government's intervention. And Canada supports every protest in Russia and condemns the government's intervention. And Canada even supported the Ukraine riots and the government being overthrown. So why the crackdown when protests happen in Canada? That about sums up, don't it? Rex says we got over 8 inches of snow last night. I really got, well, yeah, we could still get, it's possible. We've had snow up in the March in Oklahoma before, but I wouldn't hold my breath. It has cooled down. It's been really nice last few days, but it's cooled down. It's about 29 degrees here right now. looks like it'll probably get down to the upper teens tonight. I gotta adjust here because they got a prediction, but the prediction's off because right now it's several degrees warmer than what they thought it would be. Yeah, if we hit 19 degrees, that'd probably be our low tonight, and then it's gonna get back up in the 50s and tomorrow, and it'll only dive down to 28 the next night, and then 60. So I don't know. We might be home free for really mild, temperatures. Nothing below 32 for the rest of the winter, but it could be. It could, who knows? Miss House says this year, me and a couple people will be out doing the morel hunting. Yeah, I've never come across a good enough patch that I went back to. One or two around. Um, I haven't scoured this area though very much during the right period, so I might try to make extra effort to do that this year. What I should be doing is I should get out there as soon as this dries out because it's been wet. What I should do is go out and burn off some land. I hate to take the time off. I've been spending so much time doing stuff for the channel. I mean, trying to get everything set up, because like Rumble, Odyssey, and BitChute, I've had to do, I have to go to another place because the bandwidth ain't good enough here. So I have to go somewhere where I can get some better internet and because I have, for some reason, when you sync up your channel, it only brings, BitChute could only sync up to everything from that point forward. They couldn't get all the past videos, so I'm gonna have to go and upload uh, all of them individually, manually. And Rumble went back in time to some extent, but not that far, not all the way. So I'm gonna have to go and upload those, I guess. And then Odyssey is just pain in the ass because I can't. At first I couldn't get synced up at all, and then finally I was poking around trying to find, is there some way around this, because I didn't meet the requirements. They said I didn't have enough subscribers and all this shit, and on YouTube you gotta have so supposedly you have to have a minimum number of subscribers on YouTube for they'll let you sync up to Odyssey, and then they'll just grab all your videos and bring them over. Well, I don't have that, and at the rate I'm going, I'm not going to get there for quite some time. So, anyway, I for whatever reason I started poking around at videos about syncing up to all these alt tech, and somebody on a video somewhere said that yeah, that's their rules, but if you email them and ask them nicely, they'll go ahead and do it. And sure as shit, that's exactly what happened. I emailed them and asked them nicely, nice for me, and they went ahead and synced up. But they didn't sync, everything didn't go over there. So I'm going to go through and figure out which ones, because it looks like it's kind of almost random. It isn't like it didn't go back to episode 22, but everything 1 to 21 isn't uploaded. There was random places where there was missing ones, and then I have to go in and manually upload the ones that were banned. And then episode 50. Oh, someone was asking about episode 50 the other day. The Bigfoot, Convoy Bigfoot episode, Lockbeard Random Live, LRL number 50, Convoy Bigfoot. It's gone. I thought we had that settled, but apparently we don't with YouTube. YouTube's most of the challenges to the copyright claims are gone, but not on that one. And It looks like, I don't know how long they're going to take. They got like 28 days to respond to that. So, Convoy Bigfoot episode is not on YouTube. It is, but it's over on Rumble. Anyway, it's a big pain in the ass. So anyway, if I I got to divide, like figure out how much time I need to spend in the woods compared to doing shit on this computer. But once I get everything lined out with the alt tech, then it should be all right, because everything going forward automatically syncs up to the other three. So Sandra says we have had a beautiful sunny 83 today. Awesome. Mid-South says I don't mind a mushroom trip once in a while. Had one about 6 months ago, and some real dickhead shrooms. If you've ever had them, you know what I'm talking about. No, I haven't. Mid-South. I've never tried them myself. I've never tried any illegal drug in my life, so I don't even know. How does a mushroom be a dickhead? So let's see here. Hopefully we're still rolling all right. Let me see here. Yeah, it looks like it. For a minute there, it looked like we weren't on, but we'll see what's going on here. Seems like something's up, but I don't know. Yeah, chat's still rolling. North Alabama Cryptid. Hello. Real P. How's it going? Need to go shut this down. So another comment that I thought was a pretty good. Well, there's a couple of good comments on this RT article. Person calls themselves philosopher says the actions, mandates, and the exaggerations of the past 2 years are based on fake data of the threat posed by a low mortality respiratory illness comparable to influenza, dubbed COVID-19, determined by inaccurate PCR test, incapable of diagnosing anything as proof of anything. And yet the Canadian government relies on this false data to impose draconian mandates, lockdowns, and illegal restrictions on the citizens. As they say in the mafia, I don't know how to say this word, but "Ciu bono," which I guess translates to "who benefits." Thousands of jobs have been lost because of these oppressive mandates. Businesses are closing down and or going bankrupt. Families are and have been destroyed. Cost of essentials are at an all-time high. So are suicides, mental and physical illnesses, and 1,000 other effects. People are living in constant fear. What kind of democracy is this? Canada is not and never really was a democracy. Canada is a tyrannical and authoritarian police state. That's what philosopher thinks. Gene Hudson's here. Welcome. Says USA is doing the same thing. Yeah. And I feel like I should be there. That I should go. Because I don't have like a regular job right now. YouTube is basically what I'm doing right now. And should I go? I ain't got the money to do it. I'll have to go, I'll be operating in a negative on that deal, but I can't say I gotta go. I gotta be at work at 8 a.m. So Mitzal says they look like a dickhead. But seriously, any type of amphetamines, whether man-made or natural, will bring the focus of the paranormal realm into reality. My experiences, anyway. Gene says, and those tests come from the country who created and released the virus and is saturated in a chemical that will sterilize you and attack your organs. So come on, real. Yeah. There's definitely some problems with all the whole damn thing. It's all so much bullshit. I think they're using China as their patsy, right? Like that, it gives us somebody who's like, well, it came from over there. China did it. How convenient. It's this place in a distant land that none of us are going to be able to go to, and most of us would not want to risk going to because you could get organ harvested or some shit. You don't want to go there. You do not want to go there. It's too risky. But so you can't really find. So it's just a convenient place to put the blame, right? It's kind of like the Muslims on 9/11. They were just patsies, right? Everybody expects them to do shit like that. We'll use them. They weren't the real ones behind that shit. And I can't believe that every freaking American hasn't figured that out yet. We were chasing after someone. Just that was Americans. Focus on that guy. He's the bad guy. He did it. Don't pay attention to the fact that we planned this operation. Anyway, I would say to people, the government wants you to think that this blame needs to go to China. They want you to think it came from over there. Probably didn't come from over there at all. I mean, it could have if it was real, but I don't believe it's real. You know what I mean? They want us to think there's something. That's the whole thing. The whole thing is about convincing us that there's this new thing out there killing people, except the evidence doesn't support that at all. What little we can get our hands on, what little we can actually see, right? So, what do we know? We know shit. We don't know shit. We know what the government tells us and what the propaganda media tells us. That's what we know. And that's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. You can't trust any of it. We know they lie. They lie about everything. The media and the government. So we can't trust any of that information. We got to go back to the drawing board. Say, okay, because you start getting an idea of what's going on. You think you're onto it, but then you got to think back. Where did that idea come from originally? Where did the idea that China was involved come from originally? It didn't come from you. It came from media. It came from the government. Came from liars. So we can't trust that information. I mean, it doesn't mean it can't possibly be the truth, but I wouldn't run with it. Been listening for a bit, Gene. Michael says, good to see you, Gene. Mitzal says, what's going on in AC? Gene says, take all your money out of the bank. They are taking your cash if you have anything to do with the truckers. Yep. They have been freezing bank accounts. Alabama says to Mid-South, been napping. We got up at 3:30 a.m. Gene says, hi, Mark. I catch you now and then, but I'm trying to catch up. Just so much to do right now. And she goes on to say, ask me how I feel about Olympics being in China. What are they coming back with? Gene says, I think they are all guilty. Yeah. Rob says, it makes me think of Olympics being in Germany before World War II. Yeah. Gene says, firing doctors who try to tell the truth. Doctors are no longer practicing do no harm. They are not treating people with the meds they need. Yeah. Yeah. And it's because there's a number of things going on there, but part of it is they want people to just bend over and take a shot in the ass on command. That's what they want. And they know that people aren't going to do that unless you make them afraid of something. But unfortunately, it didn't work on everybody. So now they're trying to take away privileges like travel privileges. Your kid can't go to school, shit that inconvenience you to the extent can't work. There were, businesses, if you have more than 50 employees, they must be vaccinated. Well, now the employer is doing the government's work for them because they're telling everyone that applies, look, we have more than 50 employees. We're not allowed to employ you unless you've had a jab. So, they set up these little rules and stuff all over the place to make other people do their work for them. And then the propaganda media gets the far left just willingly just supporting whatever bullshit they put in their heads. They take to their programming real easily. And some people on the right do too. So don't think I'm letting them off the hook. They're getting programmed to be good little willing, slaves and to be those assholes that are going down the sidewalks, and trying to be a half-assed counter protester and not being nice, flipping people off. Apparently there was some tire slashing going on. And Mid-South says, haven't been doing too much with the snow. We had a couple nice days, but I've got a new job and have been busy myself, Gene. North Alabama Cryptid says 75 and rain with high winds and tornado watch earlier, so I took a nap. Yeah, that's how a lot of people are throughout tornado areas. They're like, whatever. Because, you never, that one never hits your house, right? It's your whole life. But one day, if it does, you're going to be like, damn it, I wish I'd been more prepared. I mean, but I wish I was more prepared, but it's just kind of not something I can do right now. Although, if the tornado comes through, what I'll do is go jump in this coal mine over here. It's like an open pit, but could get tucked up under a ledge somewhere and be all right, I think. And it's all a hole in the ground, so be well enough protected. So here's another comment on the RT article. Martin Riggs says, this is what a leader of a nation looks like after graduating from the Klaus Schwab's Young Global Leaders Camp. Real and verified. Macron, Scott Morrison, and Boris Johnson, Jacinta Ardern, Bill Gates, Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom are some of the other notable names, according to Martin Riggs. The guy that was mentioning Canada supporting protests in all these other countries and riots in all these other countries and condemning their government intervention, someone responded to him named Jabiru Joe, who says, because they aren't government-funded protests. That's why the Canadian government, according to this person, isn't is against these protesters because they didn't fund this protest. Ain't part of their plan. Jabiru Joe goes on to say, can't have the peasants financing their own protests. Yeah, I mean, before they started freezing the bank accounts directly, they stopped the money through the GoFundMe from getting to the protest. So I gotta read that comment. Guess there's lots of other ones, but that was just a weird one there. Huh. Well, I'm not seeing another comment on that article that really stands out, but there might be one. I'll check back with it maybe in a second. Rex Hand says, follow the paper trail. North Alabama says, all the drunks take over the storm shelters. I'd rather ride it out at home. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I think everyone should have their, like I was saying, if you're building a new home, just build it underground. It's really, as far as, whatever, it might cost a little bit more to do it, maybe, but the savings in the long run will more than make up for it. Because, underground, the temperature is pretty constant and fairly comfortable. And so you don't have to do much in the way of heating or cooling. Saves you a lot of electricity. And on top of that, your house don't blow away. Just safer. Rob Mule says, that's it. What's it? You mean that last comment on the RT article? The one about the Klaus Schwab comment. It's someone. What's this comment here? Someone named Rammer J said, "Trucks versus fences. Do it." And then someone responded to that named Fred Williams. He says the police will line up in front of the fence, and the truckers can't knock it over without driving into the police. They want to sacrifice police officers to get some death sentence trials against the protesters. If they think the truckers will stop because of this tactic, remember that some of them have vowed to die in this protest if necessary. It's a dangerous gamble by Trudeau, but of course he doesn't care, and the truckers or even the police, as long as he's still in charge when it's over. Dark days coming. I pray for all who may die in this, but I side with the truckers. Fred Williams. What's this Rusty Stove say? He says cops are way too scared of Hell's Angels and Montreal Mafia. Cop equals ultralight IQ, sub humanoids who pick on and terrorize unarmed, peaceful Canadian citizens in a labor dispute. That's not me saying that. It's Rusty Stove, whoever he is, on this RT article. And someone responded to that, though. Kelly23 said, your description of cops is too generous. Damn. Harsh. Someone here calling themselves Vaids, spelled Vaids. I'm sure at least some of you are aware of what that's referencing. Posted a theoretical comment from Mr. H, the leader of Germany back in the 40s, Adolf. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Adolf Hitler. I'll just say it. I don't know if that's going to trigger the freaking algorithm or not. You know what I mean? Anyway, apparently, according to Vades, Hitler would say, "Stop comparing me to Trudeau." Damn. Rob Mule says if the feds, Soros, etc., are not controlling it, they hate it. Yep. They want absolute control. I mean, it's weird. They're in a position of tremendous power as it is. What more do they need? What more do they want? It's like I recognize that humans have an innate drive to acquire resources. So you can survive. It's a survival thing. You need to find food and shit. Really, it's really what it amounts to. Maybe acquire a good weapon. So you learn to craft it. Or you take it from somebody or trade for it. But so you can defend yourself to survive. So that, just these are basic needs. But we're in a world where you just kind of got to go do some moderately strenuous work, not too bad, earn a check and then go to the store and buy some food and go buy a weapon if you need one. But it's almost like that drive, because in nature it's so hard to acquire the things you need that there was never any necessity for the evolution of an off switch to this drive to acquire resources. So now we're in a situation where you can acquire almost unlimited resources, partially, it's according to what chance, circumstances give you, but how much effort you put in, how much capability you got, how much aptitude you got. But at the end of the day, if there's no off switch to this acquisition drive, this instinct, then that probably explains why these guys are like this. They have an instinct to acquire resources that doesn't have an off switch, and either they don't have the intellectual capacity to control it. I would like to think that if I acquired a huge amount of resources, I would intellectually, I would be able to just say, look, I got plenty. I've got plenty. I don't need to, try to take and take and take. So either these guys just don't want to, they don't want to control that drive, or they don't have the intellectual capacity to control it. They can't, or maybe it's an ethical thing. Maybe they just, don't have the ethics. It's just, I don't know. This just, I'm sure some psychologists somewhere have made some great study of this phenomenon, but we got these guys of tremendous power, and they just keep trying to take more. It's as if they can never become satiated. Mid-South says, I quit drinking 10 years ago, but now I live with a drunk. Still no pleasure in watching all the stupid shit that he does that used to occur with me when inebriated. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't have any. I can't. I don't even. I mean, even if a person isn't an alcoholic, I don't really care to be around drinking very much. I mean, people can do what they want. I just don't. I'm just. it's exhausting. um, yeah. So, so I kind of avoid being around people that are drinking just because I don't care to be around it. Let me see here. Are we still rolling? I keep thinking we're shut down for some reason. But are we? It says we're still going, but I don't know. Something's not working right here, though. That's all I know. Yeah, see that working. Oh, I see what's going on. Oh, that's stupid. See, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the stream. Um, if if you haven't turned if you haven't switched from top chat to live chat, you may be not seeing some people's messages. So, for example, on YouTube, looking at this live stream, the last message I see from Mid South is the one that says, "Haven't been doing too much with the snow we had, couple nice days, etc." That's the last message I see from Mid South in top chat. So I'm switching to live chat. Now it shows me the most recent one that mentions drinking. And I think it is. See, been trying to figure out why does they filter out certain messages, because it doesn't filter out all his messages, but top chat filters out certain ones. I think it's because you use the word shit, but it's just ridiculous. So if I don't know if that's what happened to the rest of y'all, but the message I got on the screen right now, if you don't see that, I mean, it should work for everybody, right? It should be the same, but apparently it don't work the same for everybody. Why is this message here not show up on my YouTube chat unless I switch from top chat to live chat? Just ridiculous. It's just, why do they do that shit? North Alabama says, I've been sober 11 years now and feel so much better. Rex Hand says it's overpopulation. They want it all. Yep. Rob Mule says, "Oh, I was on top chat." Was that same message blocked for you as well? Was it the same situation? Because I mean, I could still see Mid South's previous comment about the snow, but I couldn't see the one that used the word shit. And I don't know if drinking would affect it, but maybe. It's just weird. Why does it do shit like that? Mr. Hughes says that is not fair. Mid South Sasquatch, that you have to see that behavior. Oh, it has to be around drinking or alcoholism. Yeah. I mean, hopefully it doesn't create struggle, but I mean, some people worry about, like a former alcoholic being around alcohol at all, like it's, might cause them a relapse or cause them struggle. But it could be the case that without the regular challenges to their will, they would become weak. So they need to be, just like your immune system needs to be challenged by germs. No, stop getting inoculated. Stop that. I haven't had a flu shot in, I don't know, I can't remember when it was, but it was at least 25 years ago. I don't need no damn flu shot. My immune system takes care of it. It upgrades itself based on what's real, what's out there, whatever germ I encounter. That's what I need. I don't need some shot they give me. That seems to make people sick anyway half the time. But the same for, former alcoholic. It may be the case that they need the constant challenges to their will to maintain fitness in that regard, the capability of resisting. So just isolating from it may not be the best thing to do. Rob says, yes, I was wondering what was going on. So you saw the message here and did not see it over there. Whoops, over there. Yeah, it's a damn Top Chat live chat. It's automatically on Top Chat until you change it. So you kind of gotta get in the habit of switching it, because they say it's so it gets rid of supposed to filter out spam and shit. But that was clearly not spam. And I don't know if I need to, there's some settings somewhere I need to fiddle with to make it stop that. Maybe it thinks I want the curse words filtered out or something, but it doesn't filter out them all, does it? It's just weird, man. Angel says, YouTube started that a few weeks ago or so. I thought it was me, but they auto set to Top Chat. It's been a problem for a long time. Very long time. North Alabama says, I didn't see Mid-South's last comment except on TV. Yeah. Yeah. So at the top of the chat above where you're, let me point. Okay, right up there. Let me make sure YouTube's showing this right. Yeah. It should be. It should be, yeah. So right up there where it says Top Chat, you need to switch it to live chat. And then it will show all, it's supposed to show all the messages. Sometimes I wonder even about that, though. Gene says, well, I will catch up, Mark. Gene says, night all, got a phone call. All right, Gene, we'll see you later. Thanks for coming. Rob says, that's right. North Alabama says, oh, okay, hit the lines next to the X. Now I'm on live chat. Is that, I don't, well, you must be on a phone or something. On YouTube, it's it says live chat, and it's got a little, like an arrow next to it, and then you switch there. And on the computer, I mean, it tells you what it does, what Top Chat and live chat does. But it's just a pain because it interrupts people's ability to have a conversation if they don't realize that's what's going on. I've noticed in some cases, like if you use a lot of emojis, like I've been in a chat where if there was 2 emojis, it would be fine. But if it had more than 3 or more emojis, for some reason, at least for me, which didn't seem to be the case for everybody else, for me, it was for me specifically, it would filter me out on Top Chat, but so you had to go to live chat to see that comment. So that makes me wonder if YouTube is able to set an individual to a different filter criteria than others, which means I'm screwed down tighter than other people. I saw it. I was looking at other people's comments and comparing to mine and jumping to my other account to see what was happening. And I'm definitely getting treated differently by the Top Chat filter than other people. So I think it's just another way that YouTube uses to mess with your ability to communicate more with other people in chat. If you have made them, if you've upset them with saying things they don't want you to say. I can't prove that. All I know is that if I were to maybe, I don't know, somehow video this and jump in a chat and switch between top and live chat and jump to the other account and show people what's happening. I mean, it'd be hell of an operation getting that set up. But I can tell you, that's what was happening, and so that means that I am treated differently than a lot of other people are by the top chat filter. I'm filter out more. Like the criteria for my comments are set stricter. You was on top chat. Angel says, you speak your mind, not follow the narrative. Yeah, that's the only thing I can figure. I mean, you know, it's everything. They're jacking around with my channel. Like I watched the subscriber count go up 3 and then it would drop 2, or it might go up 2 and drop 2, and because you can watch on the live counter and see what's going on. I'm like, they're just shaving these off. It's like I swear they're purposely trying to suppress my channel. It's like, whatever, YouTube. We'll just keep doing this dance until you can't, or just ban me. Maybe they'll eventually just shut the channel down. In which case, you guys, I'm on Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey. So I don't know how that works with live streams, because StreamYard doesn't let you link directly to them. But I'll probably have to find some other way to do it, because other people do it. So I don't know. I have to figure out how to do it, because at this point, if YouTube does shut this channel down, it'll kind of stop me in my tracks for at least until I figure out how to live stream directly to Rumble or something like that. Because right now live stream goes here, and then all 3 of those, Odyssey, BitChute, and Rumble, grab it from YouTube. Rob Mule says, have you heard anything about a supposed cyber attack on a Canadian bank? I don't think so. Have you? Squatchy Cowboy says, happens to me all the time. Luck. Like which part? Like the subscriber thing, or the top chat filter, or well, somebody in here the other night in one of the chats, it might have been in here, but it might be on someone else's, said that they had to resubscribe to 50 channels that they had been unsubscribed from them. I mean, YouTube's just going in there and just unsubscribing you from stuff. Like, where does YouTube get off doing this? Well, they'll come with their excuses, but North Alabama says, I remember last year a lot of channels moved to Odyssey. Yeah. Some channels I followed here, yeah, they're over there on these other platforms. Styx, Hex, and Hammer, and Molyneux, and different ones, man. They're on alt tech now because YouTube simply will not stop jacking with them. They will talk about shit that that needs to be talked about, legit subjects, controversial, sure, but man, we need to be able to talk. It's just YouTube is clearly in bed with the government, helping them to maintain that narrative and manipulate people to believe what they want them to believe. I can't believe they still think they're going to win this battle, though. It just what people are going to these other platforms, and this whole conversation here is taking place. Angel says I just had to re-hit the notification bell, which I thought I'd already done. No wonder I stopped getting them. Yeah, I mean, and that may have, even with this channel, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that YouTube is going there and say, well, we're going to arbitrarily unactivate the notifications for some of the subscribers to the Lockbeard channel, because the Lockbeard channel, he talks about shit we don't want him talking about, which that should tell you everything I know about those subjects, right? Some of the shit we're talking about, is not just bullshit. They're wanting to hide it for a reason, because it's true. It doesn't fit with their lies. Rob says, Dabu just uploaded a video about a cyber attack. I guess I'm not familiar with Dabu. See if I can find. Is that Dabu 77? First off, I'm about real interesting things going on in this world. If you are too close-minded, this channel is, I assume, not for you, is where he was going with that. Yeah, not for you. Let me see here. Squatching Cowboy says, losing subs, lost 5 in less than an hour. Yeah, man, they're just sucking. They're just dropping them all. And it sucks because, like I said earlier, I've pretty much been working on shit for YouTube, for my YouTube channel, every day. Like it's kind of temporarily, at least, maybe it'll be permanent one of these days, but a full-time job. And unfortunately, until I become monetized, that's not sustainable, right? Because there's money going out to do this, not money coming in. At least so far, not enough to cover everything. So they use these tactics to keep you from reaching monetization. If they don't, they don't want to. They want you to give up. They know some of these people can't keep doing it. If it's a constant draining of resources, they certainly don't want to pay you to say stuff they don't want you to say. Now I don't know why they would bug you so much, but maybe they have it out for Bigfoot subject. I mean, they may very well. So they try to suppress the subject a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why they'd mess with you, but I mean, a lot of people, you would think why would they mess with that person, and they do. Anyway, though, North Alabama says, "This question, Cowboy, I'm still sub to you, but I got up to 60, then went down to 42, got 55 now." Yeah, what the heck's going on there? Why are they jacking with your subs? Rob Mule says, yeah. Squatch Cowboy says, yeah. NAC, it's getting crazy on YouTube. Dabu77, yeah, I think that's who I got up on the screen there. Let me expand that. This is he says I deliver fresh news when I can on live events. I report on earthquakes or crazy weather, sun activity, asteroids and comets, government conspiracies, and other staged events. For those of you seeking truth, you've come to the right place. Welcome to my page and enjoy the over 5,000 videos and daily news. Awesome. See what is mysterious outage knocks Canada's top banks offline. This looks like this might be a wild channel. See, says I'm just going to read the description. I'm not going to play it, but days after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said he would invoke emergency orders to crack down on demonstrators by freezing their bank accounts, 5 major Canadian banks went offline on Wednesday night as customers reported their frauds were unavailable, according to technology website Bleeping Computer. Royal Bank of Canada, Bank of Montreal, Scotiabank, TD Bank Canada, and the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce were all hit with unexplainable outages on Wednesday evening. Users began reporting issues with their banks around 16 to 1700 Eastern, Down-Dector data showed. Huh. Well, that's not good. None of our money's probably safe. North Alabama says, Lockbeard, it's the thumbs up to an amount of view as well. Oh yeah. And yes, like as far as monetization goes, I've got the watch hours, but I'm I gotta get to 1,000 subs before I can get monetized. So long way to go. The Squatching Cowboy says, I got a little over 900 views on my last video, and my watch time never went up. Really? See, they're jacking with all this shit. There's probably no recourse. Like, we couldn't all get together and say, look, we need to sue YouTube because you're fucking with us. And some of us are trying to make an income out of this. And, especially for people that is their full-time income. This would be like your employer skipping out on some of your pay. You know what I mean? They can't do that. And YouTube, in effect, can do that by manipulating these numbers. I probably just got this video banned for saying that. You're doing wrong, YouTube. North Alabama Cryptid says, Cowboy Gypsy Road showed how it's all messed up. And we've got ourselves another stupid bot. Hide and block. Goodbye, bot. So, yeah. Yeah, I got it, Rob. Yeah. Yeah, we here lately we've been getting, maybe 3 or 4 max, maybe 5 on a live stream. North Alabama says Lockbeard YouTube studio known issues, says revenue is behind since December 2021. Like YouTube's revenue is down? Is that what that means? You go to Moscow. Well, I don't know where I sent Vashi, whatever that name is, but they're gone from this place. Jay Fritz is in the house. Welcome. Saw you over on Mogs telling Pat your story. I mean, I had to watch like about halfway through. My internet went to crap, so I had to watch the second half on replay. But I saw it, and I was dying to comment something in the chat. I was like, man, there wasn't a single mention of orbs, portals, cloaking, or mind speak. That's quite a believable story there without all that bullshit. North Alabama says no, they haven't paid some folks. Oh, so they are skimping out, just straight up skimping out some pay, not even counting skipping out by jacking with their numbers so that it fiddles with it. Howdy Jay, says Squatching Cowboy. See if I can get another. Yeah, there we go. Get something, pull up some more Ottawa footage here. There we go. There we go. Firomedic says Gypsy only showed 200 views on a video that was over 5,200 views. Huh. Like, how did he know? Like, how did he know it was over 5,200 views? I'm just wondering how he figured that out. Squatching Cowboy says, what's the weather like up there, Lockbeard? Cold and windy down below you. Yeah, we've had some wind and it's getting cooler. About it's probably 20. Yeah, it's 28 degrees. Going to get down to probably probably 18 or 19 degrees tonight. But it's 28 right now. Which I'm not even yeah. I mean, I'm doing great at this temperature. I mean, I don't got heat on, right? Unless you count that. Which, too, the wicks went out on this sucker. That's better. All right, turned up the heat. Rusty's here. Welcome. Welcome. Chessboard says hello to Squatching Cowboy. Alabama says Lockbeard, the analytics are way off. Well, they better stop playing with our shit then. Because, like, this ain't. I mean, he's got a lot more. I don't know. Well, I know his channel's bigger than what mine is. Mine's really just getting started, but like I said, like, I'm not going to be able to maintain this if they're going to keep throttling me so that I can't get my subscriber count up to 1,000. But that's what they're doing. I see them doing it. So, you know, what the hell, where the hell do they get off just shaving off a couple subscribers every so often so I can't get up to 1,000? I mean, it's going to be a long road anyway, but so everybody's saying hello. Jay says, I never once saw anything in those woods, never heard a sound, never a knock, never a yell, nothing. Yeah, see, there you go. That's one of those, you know, and it's one of those stories, you know, like, because some people get mad, like, well, why don't you believe my story? I was like, well, you got a bunch of shit in there that don't sound legit. Like, something ain't right. You got shit cloaking like the Predator out of the Predator movies, you know, orbs flying out of its ass or whatever they say. Damn thing's talking to you in your head. I mean, it's like, man. As opposed to a story where you just saw a dude chasing some hogs. So he was a big dude, you know, a little hairy, but, you know, it's a perfectly acceptable, logical story. Doesn't make you have to accept some other level of mystical shit. You know, it's just, you know, it's believable story, right? It's totally believable story. You know, that there's you know, a race of big people out there that are good at hiding. You know, no big deal. You know, you don't even got the wood knocks going. You know, that's a whole thing with the wood knocks. You know, well, somebody, you know, no one's been able to prove that these things do that, right? They never. Have you ever seen a Bigfoot doing something to make that sound? Well, as far as I know, you know, I mean, maybe somebody's told a story where they say they saw it, but that person could be lying for all I know. I don't know. So if it doesn't, you know, if we need something more. We need somebody to see that happening before I'm going to be too horribly accepting of the wood knocking stuff. Let alone the portals and the freaking uh, cloaking and mind speak and all that stuff. Nikki's here. Welcome. North Alabama says my YouTube views don't match the YouTube studio. Really? Yeah, you know, I've noticed some little discrepancies here and there too with that. I have. So, you know, I don't even know you know, and if I complain, is it going to do any good? I mean, all I know is I got all these different ways that looks like they're throttling the shit out of my channel, and I don't know how I can deal with that or make them stop, or because I really need it to fucking stop. You know, so I don't know. It's just crazy. YouTube is just got shenanigans going on. Mr. Hughes says, stay safe, Lockbeard. Catch you next time. All right, Mr. Hughes, thanks for coming. We'll see you next time. Later, Mr. Hughes. Brian says, oh, welcome, Brian and Chewy. Says, hello, Lockbeard and chat friends. Welcome. Yes, it was a chore, said Papa. And looks like everything else is highs and howdies. Mank stepped in, says Sasquatch is real. I noticed him at McDonald's returning a Happy Meal. I guess his raw diet is better food. Ha ha. I imagine so. Scotch Cowboy says I was up to 3,700 watch time hours. Now I'm down to 3,100. What the fuck? Huh. Um, that certainly isn't your total watch hours, is it? I mean, I thought you were way beyond that. I'm sure you're, because you got plenty of subscribers. That's just one video, right? Pull up Squatch and Cowboy channel. Why don't we? Folks, this here is the no BS search for Bigfoot up in here. Now let's check and make sure now, because you know how YouTube is. You gotta check and make sure. Yep, yep. I am still subscribed. YouTube, I'm keeping an eye on this shit. Better not fuck with this. So, yep. I think most people here know your channel. Nope, you're not monetized. So your channel's total watch hours is 3,100, or it's supposed to be 3,700, but it got bumped down to 3,100. How in the hell does that happen? Did they take down one of your videos? You know, like I don't know. Like I had to, because they don't notify me on all the copyright claims, right? I didn't get any kind of notification that I ever remember seeing anywhere. Not didn't come to my email. I usually rely on it coming to my email. And anyway, I had a bunch of copyright claims in there that I didn't even know I had, which means even if my channel does get monetized, those videos can't be monetized until, well, I challenged them all, and almost all of them were reversed. But Rob Mule says just seen Israel to scrap the beer bug passport. Well, yeah, that needs to happen all across the world. That's for sure. Rob says Israel had plenty, a pretty big freedom convoy too. Did they? At least it worked somewhere. Just check 3043. Really? See, that starts making me wonder. um, just starts making me wonder. Um, so because that particular goal was not the difficult one, really. The most difficult one, the number of subscribers, was for me, and still is, because I'm nowhere near that goal. But yeah. Where's the total number? Let's see here. No, that wasn't recent. Well, sometimes, I swear. Well, let's stop looking at that. Stop looking at that. Yeah, so they're shaving more off of you, it looks like. Nikki says, sorry, I'm not chatting, eating dinner, and listening. That's cool, Nikki. We're about to wrap her up shortly anyway. Jay says, I have had to reload YouTube before and had to resub several channels when I did. Meg says, the rule maker of YouTube made a video today saying there are making new, stronger censorship rules. Yeah, they're probably going to outlaw the word jab because they know everybody's saying that instead of the V word. And they'll probably outlaw the phrase beer bug because they know everybody's using that instead of the C word. It's just. Papa says, nice job on Mogs the other night, Jay. I enjoyed your story and humor. Yep, it was good times. For Papa, since we're looking at the Squatch and Cowboys channel, I'll just stick his link in chat. Anybody that hasn't been over his channel, you got to go check it out. Well, let's see if pull this down. Yep. I think most people on here probably already subscribed to you, but maybe someone isn't that would like to check it out. Jay says, oops, I'm in trouble. Then I cuss like a sailor. Brian Shuey says he just subbed to you, cowboy. Checks in the mail. Oh, no check in the mail. We're all on the same team, right? We're trying to find the dang Bigfoot. We just need to find that dang Bigfoot. If we just find that, let's see here. See what's on tonight. Is that showing all right? I think it is. Probably is. Bring it bigger. Bam. So, yeah, these are all just live streams. If for anybody doesn't know, these are paranormal live streams on YouTube, and some of them are really weird. But there's not premieres because I was interested in shows where the host is on the screen and maybe you have a guest and there's chat interaction, and that was kind of stuff I was looking for when I made this for myself originally. And then I started sharing it with other people and started including a bunch more shows. So we're almost to 100 shows on this thing, and most of them, even if I did want to watch them all, there's no way in hell. There's too much. So I don't watch all this stuff. So hopefully nobody thinks I watch all this stuff. But see what's on tonight. Was it 6:30? 6:30 here where I'm at. So Paranormal Planet on Beyond Explanation channel. About an hour and a half. Beyond the Woodline should be on. I guess Jay's out of the Bigfoot business, so I don't know what's going on there. Chad Smith podcast was on this morning. Conflict Radio should be coming on right now, but I don't know if that's really y'all's cup of tea. Fade to Black on at 9 Central tonight. All these times are on Central on here. Animal Research on in about an hour and a half. Of course, most of y'all I will probably see at Mogion Monsters at 10 o'clock tonight, Central Time. Got Night Dreams Radio on a little bit later. Paranormal Portal, Beast TV, an hour and a half from now. Space Out Radio, which is on pretty much every night, I think, at 11 Central. Squatch America is on in about 26 minutes, and I'll probably be over there. Dark Wolf Sten Radio Show on the Tinfoil Hat is on in about 26 minutes as well. The Experiencer Support Association channel. The Lost Cryptids Conservatory. That's one of those 8 or 9 situations. I don't know exactly when they're going to be on. He's going to be on. That channel, Endless Mysteries, I still haven't confirmed if he's ever got his show going. He may not be on. Troubled Minds, Brunch with Bigfoot was on at noon today. But Troubled Minds is on in a little while. And What the Paranormal is on in about 25 minutes. So that's what's going on tonight. Jay says, thanks, Papa. I just tell it like it is. Rob Mule says the channel Mr. Sunshine Baby has footage of the fake arrest with media ready to film it. Oh, was there a fake arrest? I didn't know about that. Papa Craig says, checks in the mail. Yes, the car is paid for, and I'll still love you in the morning. Brian Chewy says, I am a very small channel and I have copyright warnings on some of them due to the music I'm listening to while recording. Ridiculous. Yeah, it's just they're nuts. They're nuts with that stuff. I don't even think have I let's see here. Let's see here. Oh hell no, I haven't, have I? So many channels. We'll just remedy that right now. All right. Just a second. Pull this down. Boom. There we go. Chewy and his GoPro. So there's Brian Chewy's channel, everybody. I put his link in the chat too while I'm at it. Rob says in Ottawa. So they got caught trying to fake an arrest. Is that what happened? Loved the movie Fade to Black. Says Squatch Cowboy. Chess Ward says Jay Fritz agree with Papa C. Enjoyed your story 1000%. Glad you shared with me. Alabama says, Cowboy, I haven't seen that one. I watch horror movies mostly. Rob says, Mr. Sunshine Baby, not Mr. Oh, gotcha. So they and the media was ready to film it. So it sounds like they didn't get to because they got caught trying to fake it. Or is that what happened? Squatching Cowboy says it's with Anthony Hopkins and it's a horror movie. Yeah, there's Brian and Chewy's Brian Chewy Go Hiking channel. North Alabama says, Cowboy, I'll look for it. I'll probably enjoy. Squatch Cowboy said he just sub, Brian. Getting all kinds of sub action going on around here. I'll see. Was it 6:38? Well, if there's nothing else we need to deal with tonight, I think we will go ahead and wrap her up. Unless you want us to play a little bit of Chewy, but people can go over there and go to your channel and see Chewy, I guess. Yeah. Chewy GoPro capturing epic views. Yeah. Chewy. Jay Fritz says that copyright crap is ridiculous. If I was an entertainer, I'd want my music out there. That's how you make money. If nobody plays it, you don't make money. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, I think on one of my videos, I just told it to mute the music out in that section. But most of them, because it wouldn't let me challenge it for some reason or something. But most of them, if I challenge it, like TV show clips and stuff, they cave in. But yeah, it's just a pain. You can't hardly do anything. There's so many hoops to jump through. And Squash Cowboy says, "Wait, there's more snowmobiles. Snowmobiles. I don't know anything about no snowmobiles." Chessboard says, "Thanks, Lockbeard. Have a good evening to you and all. You too, Chessboard." North Alabama says, "Brian, look up copyright infringement laws. You can get by with a lot more than YouTube leads you to think." Yeah. Like usually what I put on there, because they ask you, why are you challenging it or whatever, and put fair use and that it's a commentary on, on stuff. And like even like movie trailers should not, you would think you would not get a copyright infringement hit on it because they already know everyone's talking about movie trailers and doing videos on the movie trailers, but I'll still get those. So now I got to go in and challenge it, and they don't take the video down, but it's the video is demonetized unless you challenge it, and they don't seem to go out of their way to inform you that it had a copyright claim. At least I haven't, like, it don't come to my email, so it's a pain in the ass. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap her up. So everybody just stay free and stay grounded.